Hello and welcome to our today's question on budgeting, where we are taking a flexible budget to be prepared at 60%, 70% and 80% activity level. Now if we have a look at this question, the data has been given for 50,000 units at 50% capacity. So at 50% capacity is 50,000, so we can easily make it out as at 60% capacity it would be 60,000, 70 it would be 70,000 and 80,000. So basically what is happening is we have been provided with data for 50,000 units and we need to prepare a budget for 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000 activity level. If we have a look at data, direct material for 50,000 unit level is already given. Direct wages have been given, direct expenses have been given, factory expenses have already been split into fixed and variable. It is a semi-variable expense and it has already been split into 200,000 and 250,000. Then admin overheads, everything is fixed, all fixed, and selling and distribution overheads, we can see that they are also semi-variable. So they have also been split into fixed and variable already done in the question. We need to go ahead and prepare a budget for 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000 units, or in other words 60%, 70% and 80% activity level. So let us go ahead and prepare a table where we will be solving the question. So here is our table. We have direct material, direct wages, direct expenses. Factory is split into fixed and variable. Admin is completely fixed. Selling has been split into fixed and variable. And the data given is for 50% capacity or 50,000 units. Now we need to find budget or prepare a budget for 60, 70 and 80% capacity. Here will be our working notes. So at 60% capacity, now the data given is for 50% capacity produces 50,000 units. So can we say 1% capacity produces 50,000 upon 50, making it 1,000 units. So for every 1% capacity I am having 1,000 units. So for 60% capacity, for 1% it is 1,000, 60% it will become 60,000. 60,000 units. 70% it will become 70,000 units, and for 80% it will become 80,000 units. So we have 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000 units. So this is first issue that we are dealing, that what will be the number of units at different capacities. So now that I have this figure of how many units will be produced at different capacities, let us get on with our per unit charges. If we have a look at the question, direct material costs me 1 lakh rupees. Now this 1 lakh rupees is for 50,000 units. So 1 lakh is for 50,000 units. Direct material per unit direct material would be 1 lakh for 50,000, making it 2 per unit. So direct material that I am using is at rate of rupees 2 per unit. What about direct wages? Direct wages are costing me 3 lakh. Per unit direct wages costing me 3 lakh for 50,000, making it at the rate of rupees 6 per unit. Then direct expenses are 50,000 per unit. A total of 50,000. So per unit direct expenses would become total of 50,000 for 50,000 units, making it at the rate of rupee 1 per unit. So these are my variable expenses. Then as far as fixed are concerned, for factory overheads I have a fixed expense of rupees 2 lakh. Now these are not per unit, these are fixed. Admin, everything is fixed. So it is 2 lakh, exactly 2 lakh. And then selling and distribution, it is 1,50,000 is fixed. Now factory also has a variable component. Variable component is 2.5 lakh per unit. Factory overheads. So it was 2.5 lakhs, 2,50,000. Upon 50,000. 2,50,000 for a total of 50,000. So 4 zeros can take you at 5. Factory overhead variable component is coming at rupees 5 per unit. And what happens to this? Selling and distribution. Selling and distribution, if you see, it is 1 lakh. So we can say per unit selling and distribution overhead is 1 lakh upon 2. So this is coming at the rate of rupees 2 per unit. These were fixed, these were fixed. So now I have my per unit expenses, I have my fixed expenses. So can I get on with my further calculations? Now if we have a look at the question carefully, we are being said that prepare flexible budget at 60, 70 and 80% level, 60, 70 and 80% level by multi-activity method and formula method. So this is the multi-activity method. Formula method will look in just a moment. Multi-activity, the method that we conventionally are doing, this tabular method, this is known as multi-activity method, or at times it is also called tabular method. This is multi-activity or tabular method. Now we have all our expenses. Fixed would be 2 lakh for all these cases. Then there is another fixed of 2 lakh. Then there is a fixed of 1.5 lakh. These are my fixed expenses. As far as variable are concerned, we'll multiply them to whatever is the scenario. Last one was rupees 2 per unit. This per unit S&D, rupees 2 per unit. Now 50,000 multiplied by 2 would make it 1 lakh. This would make it 50,000 multiplied by 6 is 3 lakhs. Multiplied by 1 is 50,000, multiplied by 5 it would make it a 2.5 lakh, and then multiplied by 2 it would again make me a 1 lakh. So this is my budget at 50% activity. Let us just tally it with the question. Direct is 1 lakh, direct wages are 3 lakh, direct expenses are 50,000, factory overheads are 2 lakh and 2.5 lakh. This time I have got this 2.5 lakh multiplying it to per unit expense. Then admin overheads are at 2 lakh, selling and distribution at 1 lakh, with variable being at 1 lakh, again being multiplied by 2 for 50,000. Now we can rush through the remaining values for 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000. 60,000 multiplied by 2, making it 1.2 lakh. 60 multiplied by this 3 lakh, 60,000. Then this will be 60,000. Finally, this would be 3 lakh. And this one would be 1.2 lakh. For 70 and 80 also we can find these. 70,000 multiplied by 2, 70,000 multiplied by 6, multiplied by 1, 70,000 multiplied by 5 and 2. Similarly, we will carry on with 80,000 being multiplied by 2, 6, 1 and so on. So, I will just fill in these values. These are the values. We can go ahead and add them. If you add all these values, you have 13 lakh 50,000. This becomes 15 lakh 10,000. A total of this would make it 16 lakh 70,000, and this one would make it 18 lakh 30,000. So now that we are through with the multi-activity method, let us get on with the formula method. So for formula method, what we do is, as we can see in the question, we have direct material, direct wages, direct expenses. These three are completely variable expenses. Then there is admin overheads, which is completely fixed overhead. Then there are factory overheads and selling and distribution, which are semi-variable. So we have variable and fixed, and in between we have semi-variable or semi-fixed, whatever you wish like. So for these, what we'll do is we'll split them into two and try to form some kind of equation, and then that equation will serve our purpose. You just put in the key value, which could be number of units or level of activity, and you will get your answers. So let us get on with it, and first let us split the expenses into fixed and variable once again. So now that we have our table done, we will split these expenses that are given here into fixed and variable. Fixed and variable. And what I will try to do is, I will make an equation. Y is equal to A plus BX, or we could call it total cost is equal to fixed plus so y is equal to A plus BX, or we could call it total cost is equal to fixed plus variable cost into output, where y becomes total cost, A is fixed cost, B is variable cost, and X is the level of activity or output that you wish or desire. Or you could say total cost is equal to fixed plus variable into number of units that you are producing. So this is the general equation of a line, of a relationship. This is a more intelligible equation in our sense, that we have our fixed expenses, we have our variable expenses, and then we could have our level of activity over here. So let us go ahead and split the costs into two. Direct material is 1 lakh rupees for 50,000 as given in the question. So direct material becomes per unit direct material becomes 1 lakh for 50,000, making it 2. So for direct material there are no fixed expenses, it is completely variable. Then we have direct wages as 3 lakh. Per unit direct wages 3 lakh and 50,000. 6. Nothing fixed, everything is variable and it is 6 rupees. Then we have direct expenses as 50,000. Per unit direct expenses 50,000 for 50,000 units. So that will give me a single rupee, that is 1 rupee per unit. Then factory overheads are 2 lakh for fixed and 2,50,000 for factory overhead. Per unit factory overheads would be 2,50,000 for 50,000. We get it as 5 rupees. So factory overhead, as we saw earlier also, if we split them, it becomes 2 lakh for fixed and 5 for variable. Then we have admin overheads which are completely fixed. So we'll get only 2 lakh, nothing over variable because it is completely fixed. And then last one is selling and distribution overhead. Per unit selling and distribution overhead. In this case 1,50,000 is your fixed and then 1 lakh is your variable. 1 lakh is variable for 50,000 units. So it is 2 rupees. Now, if we simply go ahead and add them, we get 2 to 4 and 5,50,000 is my fixed cost. Come what may, it is fixed at 5,50,000. This becomes 8, 9, 10, 11 and 16. 7, 8, 16. So variable per unit is 16, fixed in all is 5,50,000. So can I have my equation ready? Total cost is equal to fixed. Fixed is 5,50,000 plus 16 into number of units that you are producing. What are the number of units that we are producing? We need to find it out at 60, 70 and 80%. At 50%, production is 50,000 units. So at 1% production is 1,000 units. So for 1% I am getting 1,000 units. So I need to find it out for 60, 70 and 80%. At 60%, at 70% and at 80%. At 80% production will be 60%, it will be 60,000 units, 70,000 units, and finally at 80% it will be 80,000 units. So these will be my level of productions. Now the good thing about this equation method is that once I have my equation, once I have worked out my equation, all you need to do is put your amount into this equation. Whatever is the level of activity, level of production, you just simply put it in place of n and we can have our answers. Let us go ahead and find out what are the budget total costs at 60,000, 70,000 and 80,000. So, we can have total cost at 50% level. It will be 5,50,000 plus 16 into n. At n we have 50,000. You saw it? At 50% level it is 50,000. This makes it 5,50,000 plus 8 lakhs, making it 13,50,000. This is exactly the amount that we got when we were solving this very same numerical earlier through activity method, multi-activity method. Now we need to find it out for 60,000 or total cost at 60% activity. This becomes 5,50,000 plus 16 multiplied by 60% level activity. We had 60,000 units. We just checked it out. This will become 5,50,000 plus 9,00,000. 15,10,000. Then we need to find it out for 70% and 80%. Total cost for 70%, total cost for 80%. This will be 5,50,000 multiplied by 16 multiplied by plus 16 multiplied by 70%. At 70% level of activity, it will be 70,000. This becomes 5,50,000 plus 16 at 80% activity level. It will become 80,000. This becoming making a total cost of 11 and 5 16. Now 16,70,000, 18,30,000. Let us check it. 13,50,000, 15,10,000, 16,70. So these are our total costs at various level of activities. Now see, once we have this equation, now you could find out the total cost at any random figure. Let's say at 85% level it would be 85,000, you could get your answer. At 95%, you could have 95%, 95,000, you could get your answer. So this is the power of equation method. You solve the equation once and you can get your total cost for any value. Now this is different from tabular method, because in tabular method we had to calculate each of these expenses each of the times. I need to multiply this to 80,000, I need to multiply these all to 80,000. Here we are not doing so, we are just multiplying the total variable cost to 80,000 once. That is done. So that was it for this question, where we saw both the multi-activity method and the equation method. Do like and subscribe to our channel if you have not already liked. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.
Here are some cards related to the video you just watched. Feel free to browse across them and do leave your comments and suggestions. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you have not already subscribed. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.